Welcome to the show, everybody. It's me, Ben, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today, we're continuing our sort of theme of best top 10s, whatevers of the year's accounts today with a brand new list. As you can tell by the title today, I'm listing for you 10 K-pop B-sides from 2020 that absolutely and utterly rocked my world. Lots of variety on this list, I'm not gonna lie. We have a soloist, we have girl groups, we have boy groups, we have rookies, we have veterans. It's gonna be a good time. Welcome to the video, everybody. Excited to hop into this one. Thanks for all the love on video yesterday. Had a lot of fun shooting that one, so I'm excited to be back at it again with this one. As per usual, obviously with yesterday's video and now with this one, at the end of my sort of list, remember, we're not ranking, we're just giving a list, not in any particular order. Everything is equal here as far as terms of enjoyment. Leave me your lists below as well. What are 10 K-pop B-sides from 2020 that rocked your world this year? And let me know, obviously, at that same time, if you liked my list, if you thought you'd change my list a little bit. But always remember to be respectful because this is a discussion. Obviously, in my normal reactions and stuff, honestly, if you want to flame me during those, that's fine. But when we're talking specifically about opinions here, let's be civil, okay? Be nice to each other. This year's been shit enough as it is. There's no reason to be toxic in the comments. Let's go ahead and get to it with number one on my list. Even though it's not like ranked number one, I'm just saying it's the first one I'm talking about. First one on my list is, in fact, NCT Dream's 7 Days. Now, here's the thing. Here is the thing. All of these B-sides, this list is awesome because all of these B-sides make me feel so different. And obviously starting off with 7 Days is a great one because it's been, if I remember correctly, this one made it onto my Spotify rap playlist, which is tough because I listen to a lot of music. And this was very high on my playlist, meaning that Spotify calculated that I listened to this song a whole lot more times than other songs this year, and that's not surprising in the slightest. I do still say that one of my favorite NCT Dream songs is Beautiful Time, because I think it's still my favorite, but 7 Days is my most played, and that came out this year, so yeah, but that's why it's on my list. Number two, go ahead and get our soloist out of the way. I gotta talk about Starry Night by Suho. You already know how it is. The album itself was phenomenal, but I had to put Starry Night here on this list because for those of y'all that might be patrons, you'll maybe remember when we reacted to the album, I absolutely died. I freaked over Starry Night for obvious reasons. And if you're interested, obviously you can check out the Patreon because there's tons and tons and tons of content over there. But Starry Night is one of those songs that I can put on and immediately just feel a wave of relaxation rush over me. And Suho's voice is just... On to my third B-side of the year, i-dle, Maybe. Obviously was gonna be on here. You shouldn't be surprised to see i-dle on another one of my lists because I did talk about them yesterday. At the end of the day, they are my alt group. I have lots of alt groups, but i-dle was my first. Reason I got into K-pop in the first place. And they showed, once again, to me, why I love them so much with their album I Trust this year. Favorite B-side was Maybe. Now, I love the whole album, and I could have just talked about the album here, but because we're specifically talking about B-sides, my absolute favorite from that album was Maybe. Production quality was massive on it, and I knew I had to put it on my list the moment I heard it. I wouldn't be surprised, for those of y'all that are also Nevies in the comments, I would not be surprised to see some of you also put Maybe as potentially one of your B-sides of the year. But yeah. Best believe it was gonna be on the list. On to the next one, and this is easily, here's the thing, this is one of my favorites on the list. Once again though, we're not ranking these, I'm just sort of saying them in order of the way that I listed them, is Monsta X Flow. Now, not only is this one of my absolute favorite B-sides of this year, this is literally my favorite Monsta X B-side I have ever heard in my life. Now, there is still some albums that I need to listen to from the older Monsta X days. We've listened to a few here and there, but we're kind of jumping around between Twitch and Patreon at the moment as far as catching up on those. But Flow hits me in my chest like a paintball. Have you ever been shot in the chest by a paintball gun? It hurts. But if it's from far enough away and you're wearing enough like padding, it kind of feels good. It's like a different kind of rush of blood to the head. You know what I'm talking about? Anyway, I'm probably not making sense, but Monsta X absolutely nailed that album in general, and Flow is just Absolutely, one of my absolute favorite songs of the entire year. On to my next one, and I'm very happy I get to talk about this song because it's also similar to, what did I say? NCT Dream 7 Days. This is also similar in that it was one of my most played songs of the year, and that is TOO, Don't Fear Now. Now, TOO has some great songs out already. In fact, if you've seen my album reviews, you'll know that in my opinion, they have yet to miss, and that is, I'm gonna be honest, that's not really up for debate. Even though that's kind of an opinion thing, that's not up for debate. These boys have not missed yet. But my absolute favorite song from them so far has been Don't Fear Now. That's obviously a B-side rather than a title track. Title tracks have been cool too, but this little song, this is another one of those that I can put on at any time, any mood that I'm in, and immediately feel calm, encouraged, happy. It's just a perfect song. On to the next. You already know, this is another one of those times where if you follow me on Twitter, you might have seen me tweeting about this quite a bit, but I have to talk about 17's Fearless. Now, when 17 dropped Fear earlier on, that was obviously immediately one of my favorite 17 music videos and title tracks that I had seen to date. But when they released the album afterwards, that I don't remember where Fearless is on the album. It might actually be the first track. I honestly don't remember off the top of my head because it's been a while since I scrolled through the album on my Spotify. But Fearless, for those of y'all that don't know, takes a moment from Fear originally, right, and sort of repaints it into a texture that is nostalgic and reminiscent of the title track, but they spin it in a way that is so empowering. And look, that's another one that my patrons that have seen the album review are gonna be like, oh yeah, we knew that was coming. Because my reaction to that was, if I remember correctly, I almost like stopped recording because I just needed a minute. I felt like I needed a minute to just like recover from Fearless. And once again, it's one of my absolutely most played songs of the entire year. Had to put it on this list. Alrighty, some representation from the girl groups. You already know how it is. I had to throw Weeekly on here. Hello is absolutely one of my absolute favorite B-sides of the entire year. In fact, I've already listened to Hello more than I've listened to Tag Me, Zigzag, all of their other B-sides. Universe is a phenomenal one, but Hello is my absolute favorite. And it's not just my favorite B-side, it's also my favorite Weeekly song in general. Once again, one of the songs that I've listened to most this year, I think was in my top 40 most listened to tracks of the entire year, which is interesting because it wasn't released in the first half of the year. That means I did a lot of catching up. A lot of catching up with that song, but obviously had to throw the Weeekly girls on this little playlist because they deserve all the recognition that they can possibly get. On to my next one, and this again should have been at least a little bit obvious, but especially to those of my friends in the Discord and those that hang out with me on Twitch, y'all knew this was going to be happening anyway, but we have to talk about Everglow's Untouchable. Now that whole little 4 little track album was phenomenal, but Untouchable is probably my favorite, and Untouchable is one of my favorite Everglow B-sides to date. Now, having been able to go see Everglow live in Atlanta was a phenomenal experience, but now I have to see them again. At some point in my life, I must see them again live in the hopes that they will perform Untouchable, because I need to see that live. I need to feel the energy, I need to understand it. But yes, one of my absolute favorite Everglow B-sides of all time, and one of my most listened to songs this year, had to be on my B-side list for the end of the year. All right, 2 more boy groups left, and then we're done with this list. We've done 8, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, 2 more. Going ahead. Who should I say first? Not that it matters. I'll just do it in order of how I put them on the list, just because that's what I've been doing so far with this list. Up next is Astro, We Still. Now Astro dropped a handful of awesome songs this year, but my absolute favorite from them was in fact We Still, as I just said. And once again, for the 50th time this video, one of my absolutely most played tracks this year, and I've been very happy and excited. Yeah, excited to know that a lot of my fellow reactor friends also feel the same way about this song. Don't need to name names, obviously, but those of y'all that follow multiple reactors will probably know that they've been tweeting about this song quite a bit, and that makes me very happy because Astro deserves all the love in the world, and We Still is just such a, it feels like a hug. It's just perfect. I love this song, and I had to put it on my list. I don't have anything else to say. Shout out to Astro. And then rounding out my list, my last B-side from 2020 that rocked my world. Obviously, there were more B-sides that rocked my world as well, but I'm giving y'all 10 specific ones that I really love, and that has to be Stay by BTS. This is, in fact, and I can say this confidently, Stay is my favorite BTS song to date. It's obviously not a title track, so I can't say that it's my favorite title track. That's probably still DNA for those of y'all that don't know. But Stay was the exact song I needed to hear the moment it dropped. I had a really rough week, had a really rough year, to be perfectly honest with you, but Stay, in similar ways to the way that I just described We Still by Astro, Stay and the entirety of the B album felt like a warm hug, but Stay being the last song on the album, obviously besides Dynamite, at least I think that's how it was laid out, sort of the last new song on the album, it felt like the three guys in the unit were sort of rounding me up and saying, don't worry about what's coming next. You're gonna be okay. Focus on the now and don't stress too much. Don't worry about it. You're gonna be okay. And without getting too emotional, I've listened to that song already so many times, it's unbelievable. If there's a way to check individual plays on Spotify without having to wait till the end of the year playlists, then great, I'll have to figure out how to do that. If you know how to do it, put it in the comments below. But I've already listened to that song, it's gotta be well over 100 times, and it only just dropped. It only just dropped, but I will go through editing sessions where I have it on repeat for an hour, 2 hours, sometimes more, and obviously I do that every single day because this is part of my job. But yeah, man, that's my list. That is my list of 10 K-pop B-sides from 2020 that rocked my world. I had a lot of fun putting together this list. It was definitely tough because I wanted to include even more, but I did finally narrow it down to 10 that I really, really care about. So obviously, like I said at the beginning of the video, leave me some comments and let me know. Do you like my list? Do you not like it as much? Would you only change like 1 or 2? Or if not, give me a completely different list. Let me know what 10 B-sides from 2020 that rocked your world. That's it for me. Thank y'all for watching the video. I've once again been recording for 13 minutes, so I'm gonna have to trim this one down as much as I can. But thank y'all for watching. I'll be back at it again tomorrow. I'm not gonna tell you what the theme of tomorrow's video is. You'll just have to show up. Same time, same place. If you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Would appreciate that very much. Be sure to stick around. And like I said, I'll catch y'all again tomorrow for a brand new list. Till next time, love y'all very much and peace. Bye.